Yes, good afternoon officers. Time for today's flash CSAT program. So today's topic is very interesting topic and guarantee questions. The topic for today is mensuration. So every year at least one question is being asked from mensuration. So therefore very important. So let's solve previous year questions of mensuration. But for mensuration you have to understand the concepts of mensuration are not asked beyond 9th class level. So if you know all the concepts below 9th class, it is more than sufficient to answer any kind of mensuration question. So keeping that in mind, let's go ahead with two previous year questions based on mensuration. So the first question for today, it was asked in 2014 question. The question says, the gardener increased the area, was increased of his rectangular garden by increasing its length by 40% and decreasing its width by 20%. So the area of the new garden has increased by how much or decreased by how much? That is a question being asked. So the whole question is based on percentages. So if we keep that in mind, let's look at this. So it is a rectangular garden, therefore it will have a length, it will have a breadth. So this is a particular situation currently. Now, so what happens over here? Now the new garden which is created has increased the area by increasing the length by 40%. 40% means what? 100 is becoming 140, as simple as this. Therefore, I will take the length and breadth both to be 100 for now because there is no particular value which is given in the question. So happily we can take 100, there is no particular value. Therefore, I will take both of them to be 100. So what is the point is your question will be, sir, if you take both of them as 100, how can it be a rectangle? So please remember, very important point. Every square is a rectangle. Please remember this, very important point. Every square is a rectangle, but every rectangle need not be a square. So all rectangles need not be squares. All rectangles not equal to squares. But every square is a form of a rectangle where length and breadth are equal. Now I have chosen 100 because the whole question does not have a particular value. Everything is in percentages. So happily I can take 100 and 100 and solve the problem. That is the notion we have to have. So if I take this, if you observe, the new one will have smaller breadth but larger length. So it became like this. Now the new length will become 140 because 40% increase. So 100 becomes 140. Similarly, breadth, that is width, was decreased by 20%. That means previously it was 100. Now 100 became smaller. It was less by 20%. So the new breadth is only 80 units. That is the situation. As simple as this. Now, what is the area of the original version? Area is nothing but, we know, length into breadth, which is nothing but 100 into 100. Okay. Now, what is the new area? Here, again, this also area is equal to length into breadth, which is nothing but 140 into 80. So, here if you have, understand, here it is 10,000 and here it is 80 into 140 into 80, 12s are 3212. This is the percentage. So if you observe, the original one was 100, 2 zeros, and here if you observe, this has become 112, 2 zeros. So easy calculation, percentage change is nothing but change over original area into 100. So what is the final answer? As simple as this. We can do this. It is nothing but 100 is becoming 112. That means the increase is 12. Increase happened on original 100 into 100. Therefore 12%. Therefore the area of the new garden has increased by 12%. That means increase by 20% is wrong. 12% is perfect right. Increases remain the same. All of them are wrong. And this is the correct answer. So the option is B. The same thing can also be done by taking 1 unit also. For example, if I take this, another way to do this is I will take length to be 1 unit, breadth to be 1 unit. Now the new length will become 1.4 units. The breadth will become 0.8 units. The area 1 will become 1. Area 2 is becoming 1.12. Therefore, the percentage increase, 1 is becoming 1.12. So the increase is 0.12. This increase happened over 1 into 100, which is again 12%. So you can do it in any way, whichever is comfortable for you. For most of the students, 40% increase, 100 becomes 140. 20% decrease, 100 becomes 80. Simple way to do that. So if you are good in mathematics, use this. If you are not so very strong with mathematics, use 100 and do it. So we know those calculations, and that's how a simple UPSC question which was asked in 2014, and we get 2 beautiful marks for this simple technique. So that's the advantage. So keeping this in mind, let's move to the next question for today. The next question for today is asked in 2016. So this is a very, very standard question that is being asked. It's based on right angle triangles. Very, very important. A vertical tree trunk breaks at a point 12 meters above the ground, and the upper piece falls just, is broken. The broken end touches the ground 5 meters from the base. 5 meters from the base. So what happens? What is the original height of the tree? We don't know what is the height of the tree. So what I will do? Tree. Original tree is like this. This is the base. This is the base. We don't know what is the height. Let's keep it like that. Okay. The vertical tree trunks breaks at a point 12 meters above the ground. So the breaking point happened at 12 meters above the ground. So from here, 12 meters it broke. That means this part fell down and came like this and stopped here. Now if you observe, okay, I'll draw a better diagram for you. I will take this whole tree. So this is the base part. This is the height part. So we don't know what is this height. 12 meters above the ground, it hit. So I will take this is 12 meters above the ground. And after breaking, that means this part broke. It came this side. So I will draw this in red because it broke. So I will put this in red. Now this red part fell exactly like this, in such a way that it touches the ground 5 meters from the base. That means from the base, this is only 5 meters. This is a situation. Now when it breaks, we know this will form a right angle triangle 90 degrees. And you don't know what is this length. Now if I want the length of the whole tree, I need this part plus this red part. So green plus red. If you observe from here, green part plus red part is equal to height of the tree. So if I want the height of the tree, I need the green part, which is 12 meters, which we already know. This is 12 plus red part we have to find out. So what do we do? It's a right angle triangle. I know this length is 5 meters. Perfect right angle triangle, use Pythagoras theorem. So what is this? Pythagoras theorem, a lot of students will remember it like this. AB square plus BC square equal to AC square. Don't remember it like that. You know that in a right angle triangle, most important concept you have to learn. Very simple. In a right angle triangle, it will be like this. Now you know this is a right angle part. This is called the hypotenuse. And these are the sides, side 1, side 2. Now what you have to remember in simple terms is, for those who have confusion, don't use the formula AB square plus B square equal to AC square. Don't use that. Use this. In any right angle triangle, there is only one longest side, and that longest side is hypotenuse. So since it is the longest side, I will represent it as L. So this shows that the remaining two sides are shorter sides, because there can be only one longest side, which is the hypotenuse. Therefore, these two sides must be shorter side. Therefore, Pythagoras theorem, if you want to remember it like this. Short side square plus second short side square is equal to long square. Remember this equation always. Sum of the squares of the shorter side should be equal to the longest square of the longest side. Keep it like that. Now in this case, now this is the basic formula for Pythagoras theorem. Short square plus short square equal to long square. As simple as this. So keeping that in mind, here this will be the longest side. Therefore this will be the shorter side. So here the short sides are what? This is one short side, this is another short side, and this is the long side. So keeping that in mind, short square plus short 2 square is equal to is equal to long square. So keeping that in mind, this becomes 12 square plus 5 square, which is equal to 169. 169 is nothing but 13 square. Therefore, this long side becomes 13 units. Now, if I want to know the height of this whole tree, it is nothing but this part plus this part, which is nothing but 12, we already know, and the new red line is 13 units plus 13. Therefore, the height of the tree is 25 meters. Like this, we can solve a simple UPSC question using basic Pythagoras theorem, which we learn in 7th class or 8th class. So as simple as this. So the answer is 25 meters because the question is, what is the original height? Therefore, what is original height according to this? The answer is 25 meters. Keep that in mind. So answer is option B. Like this, we can happily solve mensuration questions knowing basics below 9th class. So that's all for today. Shamanth Pydikondala signing off. Bye-bye.